Let's
I am
go.
Glad to
so
be here.
glad to get a chance to talk with you. So, we're going to go back before we go to the present. Okay.
All right,
So
let's do that. Let's go
let's go
back.
back, and we're going to start with the ladies.
Ladies
So,
first.
Alyssa, when did you come to MVNU? What brought you here and made you decide to come to Mount Vernon?
Yeah, so I came in 2017 as a freshman, and I grew up overseas. My parents were missionaries in the Church of the Nazarene, and both of my parents had attended MVNC. And so anytime we came back to the U.S., they were always they just made sure that we always came and visited MVNU. Sometimes my dad would speak in classes when we were on our deputation tour. And so MVNU had kind of always been on the top of my mind. Sorry, that's our door thing going off really quick.
That's okay.
But that had always been on the top of my mind of a place to go when I was trying to, figure out where I would go to college. And so I came in 2017 as a freshman, moved from Zambia. And so it was a really fun experience to be on MVNU's campus.
So, Nene, how about you? Because you didn't have to come far, right?
No, I did not have to come far at all. So I was homeschooled in Mount Vernon at the time. And since the high school is 500 feet away from MVNU, when it came time to graduate, I was like, well, I guess we're gonna go to MVNU. So I really, really, really wanted to join a radio program. I was one of those rare people that, like, as soon as I got to college, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what major I wanted. I knew what career path I wanted to take, and so I started planning accordingly. At Radio U, there was a longtime DJ by the name of Obadiah, which I think you also interviewed, and so I was like, man, what path did he take in order to be on the radio and stuff? And so I found out, well, guess what? He also went to MVNU, which was conveniently in my backyard. So I went there, had the same incredible mentors like you and Joe and so many other people that were able to pour in and stuff. So that was super cool. So yeah, it was super close by. I loved it. Loved it.
All right, today we are talking with Alyssa Sidle and Nene Parker, former WNZR DJs, graduates of MVNU. So, Alyssa, you graduated in 2021. What was your major?
I actually majored in philosophy. I was one of the last majors that was a part of that before that got it got the axe, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Yeah, but then my minor ended up being radio broadcasting because my dad was actually involved in WNZR, and he kept pushing me in my first couple of years of college. He's like, you need to consider communications. You really, really need to consider it. And I ended up having a friend named Jordan Lewis. And I talked with her. She was a part of WNZR's program and sports broadcasting. She was involved a lot with that. And she was like, hey, I think you should too. Maybe just have a conversation with this guy named Joe Rinehart and see what he thinks. And so I had a conversation with Joe. And as soon as I left his office, I changed my minor to radio broadcasting, and the rest was history.
That's awesome. So, Nene, you were part of the class of 2020. What was your major?
Journalism and media production at the time. I think that title has since changed too.
Yeah, it's communication and digital media now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still same class, it's just different names. So yeah.
They just like to get the word communication in there because we've always said this. You need it on a t-shirt. Communication is the key to life.
Man, yes. I'm glad you guys were in sync on that because I had no idea where that was going.
We've said that so many times. Okay, so let's get a life update. Tell us where you are now and where you are working.
Yeah, so right now I am in Pickerington, Ohio, and I work at Radio U. I'm on the morning show, Radio U Mornings, with my co-host Hudson. I've been here for just over a year. I celebrated my anniversary at Radio U on October 14th, so pretty wild.
And Nene, how about you?
So what has been happening in life? So I've been at Radio U for almost 4 years at this point. So we started in 2022, I think right at the start of the year. And so where I'm living, Columbus, dead smack in the middle, right inside 270. It's been really cool. I've gotten the opportunity to find a really cool church group, I'm super involved with that, even outside of the show. I feel like I'm always just running from one thing to the next. Like it is always like, as soon as we're done with the show, it's go to small group or go to the gym or go to this concert or go to this event. And so it's really keeping me on my toes. And I just love the fast paced life of it.
So when are you on the air, Nene? Because Alyssa said she does mornings.
Oh, yeah. So I do the afternoon show. Maybe I should have said that. So I have a show in the afternoons called Weekdays with Nene. That goes from 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So we usually do that in the afternoons. By that time, Allie and Hudson have both gone home. So they're not sleeping. Sometimes they might tune in and they'll let me know what I'm saying right or wrong.
We are enjoying a conversation with some of our alumni today. Nene Parker, class of 2020, and Alyssa Sidle, class of 2021. Now, this is going to be a good question for you, so academic. How did your time at WNZR and MVNU prepare you for what you are doing now?
Oh, in so many ways. I mean, Radio U is a nonprofit radio station, and WNZR works very similarly, where we had a fundraiser every single year. And I remember sitting in fundraising practicum and hearing you say, Marcy, like, this is vital information. You are going to use this at your job, like all this stuff. And, you know, when you're a student, you're kind of nodding along like, okay. But seriously, I cannot share the information more. Absolutely take all of that you can get, because it truly is what you will use in your job. And for me, it's almost to a T what I use, because I ended up in a nonprofit radio station. So yeah, everything I learned in classes, whether it was from you, Marcy, or Joe, it's been very helpful for me.
Nene, how about you?
Dude, I always like to highlight Jamie McMillan, because I was there when I think he first started working as a professor at MVNU. And so he would teach the video classes there. And so there was this one class called Advanced Video Production. And I really found a love for video editing and putting things together. And I never thought that was going to be something that I would use quite literally every single day. Like that class, the things that I learned there, I am using 5 days a week creating content, whether it's for Hudson, Allie, just whatever things we have going on at the station. Like I am in Adobe Premiere every single day. So that is a skill that had I not been at MVNU, I would have no idea. Probably could have learned it from YouTube, but having Jamie be able to walk me through step by step of that was just so huge. And then when it comes to on air, there was this one class, I remember when Joe was teaching it, and he was talking about how important it is to have vitality. If you don't know what vitality is, it's just basically the energy that you bring. And so that was something that I really wanted to try and embody with the shows that I do. It's just how can I take the things that this boring piece of text, this boring story, or just this headline, and how can I make it more interesting? And so that was something that I really took away. And then honestly, just to echo what Allie said, man, I really do not miss those 8-hour-long fundraising training things. But I'm gonna be so real with you. They were so important. Being able to connect with the listeners, being able to realize that you're not just talking to a brick wall inside this head, there's real people listening on the other side of that microphone. It's so real. And your voice has influence, and you have the ability to impact so many people through the things that you say over the airwaves. So yeah, it's huge.
I'm going to use your comments in Lifeline 2026 training.
I know. I'm so upset. I gave you a clip.
This is going to be played in my fundraising practicum.
I'm sure it will be.
Okay. We are having fun today talking with two of our grads, Alyssa Sidle. I still have to call you Alyssa, but Allie from the class of 2021, and I could call you Nathan Parker.
You could.
From the class of 2020. All right. So when you were here at WNZR, what were you involved in? What were some of the jobs that you did?
Well, when I first started, it was on air. I got on the radio, I think it was January 2020. So as soon as I remember what really threw me into everything was COVID happened a couple months later. And because I was a student that had family, overseas, I couldn't go home. And I remember being in our meeting when we were discussing what we were doing moving forward with COVID. Marcy, you were like, you got to let them let you stay on campus so that you can work. And I was like, okay, I have a plan now. And so that really threw me into getting involved with WNZR. And I'm so grateful for that because, what ended up being obviously not a great thing with COVID completely changed the direction of my life. And but yeah, I got involved with the radio in that way, and then eventually music director, because I worked with Rachel a bunch that summer, Rachel Rinehart, a bunch that summer, and kind of shadowed her in her position as music director. So I did that, and then I got involved with sports casting later that year. I think those were the main 3 positions when I was a student, and then I did obviously the assistant station manager after graduation.
All right, Nene, we know you were on the air. We remember those air shifts with Nene Parker.
That sounds like there's a bad story waiting to be told from that. But so I did do the on-air shifts. And then outside of that, just helping out whenever there was a fundraiser, going through that practicum. And obviously, so we had a bunch of different classes that you would have to take at MVNU. So it would be sportscasting practicum, fundraising practicum. And so I'd be in all of those classes and trying to get the hour requirements wherever they were needed, whether that was going to videotape some sort of basketball game, or whether that was making sure I'm learning how to talk to someone over the phone because I get so anxious talking to someone over the phone nowadays, or making sure on the intent cards that you have legible handwriting. So that way, when you're getting entered them into the system, that someone can read your handwriting, just all these different types of things.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure we have some memories to share because you both worked Knox County fairs.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give a memory from the fair, but we did in our search for pictures, because we made this really cool bulletin board that alumni are going to get to sign anytime they visit this weekend for our reunion, but anytime. And so, Nene, we found some really funny pictures of you. One of them holding a bunny, or maybe you said it to us, you holding a bunny at the Knox County Fair. And they were all like, where is that? I said, at the Knox County Fair. I sent him to go interview 4-H kids.
There is, I look back at those pictures, Marcy, and I wonder, how come y'all never told me my hair looked that bad? I don't know why I ever thought to grow my hair out that tall. Looking like Gerald from Hey Arnold, if you ever watched that TV show. My goodness. I'm glad
you know what? You were just too cool. You just set a trend, Yep. So I would like for both of you to share a memory or two from your time here at WNZR.
Yeah, I think, it's hard, as you said, to kind of point to one memory specifically because there's so many great ones. It's just there's a lot running through my mind right now of different fun broadcasts we got to do. I think a lot of my favorite memories are definitely working the fundraisers, working Lifeline, because that's a time when we just have a lot of things happening. I remember one time Ricky spilling coffee in the radio studio, or in the studio there at WNZR. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was insane. A way to start a fundraising morning. I remember one time Joe interviewing a pair of goats at the Knox County Fair that we got on video. So yeah, there's too many to choose. It's too hard to pick just one memory. I look back on all of my time at WNZR so fondly because I just think it totally shaped who I am today.
Nene, how about a memory?
Yeah, so a lot of my memories, and the only ones that can come to mind are the ones where I would put on some sort of prank in the middle of one of our classes. So there's a professor who is no longer at MVNU, and I remember I was not doing well in this class. I think I had a D, and it comes to the final exam, all right? And so one thing I knew about this professor, Marcy, is that this guy loved honey mustard. All right.
Oh my goodness.
I have not heard this story.
And so what I did is I went out to the store, bought a bottle of honey mustard, and then as I go to turn in this exam, I put honey mustard on the test.
Here's your bottle of honey mustard.
Yes, and then I left the bottle of honey mustard at his doorstep. I checked back a few hours later. It was gone. It was gone. And
Did
I
you
did
pass
get a
the
good grade on
class?
that
I hope.
exam.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
did.
must have passed the class. You graduated.
Somehow.
Right.
Somehow we graduated.
Oh,
2.6
goodness.
GPA. It didn't look pretty. I'll be honest with you.
We are talking with two members of our alumni today, Nene Parker from the class of 2020 and Alyssa Sidle from 2021, Allie. They both work for Radio U, and I'm excited that the two of you get to work together. MVNU represented.
Yeah.
So now I would like for you to share a lesson that you learned while being part of the WNZR staff.
I definitely learned how powerful teamwork is, and also just the power of being able to learn and adapt to new skills and new environments. That was something that was really, really beneficial at WNZR, was all the different things that we could get involved in. I felt like if I went somewhere else, a different university, a different college, I would not have been able to have the diverse experience like what I got at WNZR, getting to do a fair, Sale of Champions broadcast,
Yes.
getting to do a broadcast from, the Mount Vernon Music and Arts Festival, and being involved with planning with that, and getting to go to Sunfest and all these different things. And then also being in a station, seeing what that looks like with a fundraiser and with just the day-to-day operations as a music director. So the diversity of what I got to do is like so crazy to me looking back on it. So just the ability to learn is so important, and you will never not have a time in your life when you need to use that. So I feel like that's really vital.
Thank you for that. Nene, how about you?
For me, it's doing something that you love. And what I loved was being a part of WNZR. And this can go for essentially any type of major, any type of university that you go to. But what worked for me was WNZR, was because I realized that like what I get to do is something I enjoy every single day. It's the one quote from Mark Twain. This is what made me want to get into radios. I remember my mom repeated this quote, and she said, if you get a job doing something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And as an 18-year-old high school graduate, I love the idea of not working. So that's why I wanted to pursue radio, because I knew this was going to be something that I really enjoy, something that would be fun. Like I wake up, I've been here, like I said, almost 4 years. There might have been 3 days out of the 4 years that I've been here that I'm like, you know what? I prefer if I didn't go to work. But every other single day, it is a genuine joy. It's not like I have to go to work. It's I get to go to work. And so that's why it's so important to be doing something and being with a team, like you said, Allie, that you can get behind, you can rally behind, you can work with. And so that's one thing that I loved about WNZR, is it really helped me show, like, to myself how much I enjoy being in radio.
And how incredible that it is a ministry too. And that we're able to share the love of Jesus with people every day. I mean, I don't know if students really get that until they leave. But now you both get to do it every day. And I know I'll say it several times to you, but we're so proud of both of you.
Thank you,
very proud
Marcy.
of you. We are talking today with two members of our alumni, Alyssa Sidle from the class of 2021. I'm sorry, I have to say Alyssa.
No, you're good. You're
Nene,
good.
I've been calling you Nene since you graduated high school. Nene Parker, but from the MVNU class of 2020. I want to talk a little bit about what it means to you to be part of a legacy. We celebrated 39 years of ministry on October 1st, and you are both a vital part of that. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's so huge. I follow you guys obviously on social media, Marcy, WNZR, and you and Joe, and I got to see and listen to your interview with Bill Bridges. And I mean, that touched my heart so much. I'm tearing up thinking about it right now, because truly WNZR, MVNU, MVNC, it's a legacy. And a really cool part for me too is, I know I mentioned earlier, my dad was a part of WNZR right when it started. He attended MVNC from, I think, 84 to 88. And so he was right there in the middle when it was getting going at the very beginning. And so it's kind of cool to not only think of being a part of the WNZR legacy at MVNU, but also like a family legacy with my dad being a part of it early on. And then I got to continue. And my brother, Josiah Sidle, was on WNZR as well. And I got to do a morning thing show with him a couple times. And that was such a fun blessing with great memories. And so it really is a legacy. And it's one that touches my heart to be a part of.
Wow. That's
How about
really
you,
good.
Nene, being part of that legacy?
Man. And honestly, I feel unworthy. I'm like, what did I do to deserve to be part of any sort of legacy at all? But in all seriousness, like it feels incredible to be a part of a community and more importantly, like a family. So, I mean, not as far away as Allie's family is, but my family's 1,000 miles away in Texas. And so I don't really get to see them all that often. And so what my family has looked like for so many years, including college and now even after, it's the people that I surround myself with. And so for 4 years, from 2016 to 2020, that was WNZR. And so that was really, really cool to be able to like just have someone to talk to or hang out with or go spend time with or learn a new skill from. And so that's one thing that I love so much. I was like, now it just makes me feel at home. So I love it.
This is a special week at MVNU because it is homecoming week, which is exciting. But I want to talk because you were both involved at WNZR, but you did a lot of other things as students. So what other activities were you involved in?
One of my
Nene, I want to
main
start with you.
Yeah, go Nene.
Yeah, because you were involved in a lot of things.
Was I though? Was I though? So let's see. What did I do? Man, where did we begin? So I ran track on scholarship for the first year and a half that I was there. And then I stopped doing that because I realized that the scholarship wasn't enough to pay as I was continuing to pay on college while I was in school. So I had to stop doing track. And then I picked up a job at Wendy's and I picked up a part-time job at Kroger's. So I was the guy at the Kroger downtown where I would like make the cookies and stuff in the little bakery. It was so much fun. I like learned how to write on cakes. Like that's a skill I didn't know that like was a thing that you needed to have. But like now if you need a cake to be written on, I can do that. So in addition to Wendy's, in addition to track, in addition to Kroger, I also was, I did student government too. I was class president all 4 years. I don't know how I
all 4 years.
Wow.
All 4 years.
Wow.
Shocking. The GPA did not reflect it, but I was a huge people person. And so I feel like just being able to connect with people a lot and being able to hear their stories. I was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I was able to do that for 4 years. And that was fun. It taught me a lot about leading. It taught me a lot about how to have hard conversations that I just don't want to have because, man, I get uncomfortable when I have to have hard conversations. And so I learned some really cool skills from that. Well, I don't know. Was there anything else? I don't think there was anything. I mean, WNZR, of course, but I think that was it.
Yeah. How about you, Alyssa, things you were involved in as a student?
Yeah, so two of the main things were I was involved in women's treble singers on campus.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a really, really fun experience. And actually, I met my lifelong best friends, including my sister-in-law, in women's trebs. And so that's been really fun. And also it introduced me to Handel's Messiah, which is a great tradition that MVNU does every single year. And I try to come back and sing in that and every year I can. And I'm coming back this November to sing in that again. So I'm really excited because I love that so much. Another thing that I was involved in was I was a small group leader, which is something MVNU, I don't know exactly when they implemented it, but it's basically for freshmen. And I think now they've extended it to any class. And that is just a time where you can get together as a small group, learn more about God and his word. And I got to be a leader for that for a year. And that was really cool, informative, and also at just a time where I got to know some really awesome girls that I'm still friends with today.
So what is your advice for students who are currently studying in the communication and media field? Because you both have arrived. You're working full-time in a media company. So what is your advice?
You go, Nene.
Should I go first? Okay.
Yeah.
The one piece of advice that I would give is just do what you love. If that is what you love, stay in it. If it's not, get out, because you are going to wake up when it is time for you to go to your 9 to 5 or whatever type of job that you have. And you're going to do this for whatever 40 some odd years before you retire. You do not want to look back and realize that, like, man, I wasted my time. I hated this. I didn't enjoy this. Just because it paid me a lot of money, it's not worth it. I've gotten a job before I got to Radio U that paid me more money than I'm getting paid at Radio U. And it was a genuine pain to be able to get up and go to work. And I was working from home. And I couldn't even get up and go to my desk to work because I just couldn't stand it. So do something that you enjoy. And anything that Joe and Marcy tell you, anything that Jamie tells you, like, you are actually going to get a valuable skill that some people will probably not be able to have coming out of college. Like, it's honestly really nice when you're like going on LinkedIn and everything and just like typing like, oh, I need to have this, and this skill. You have a lot of them checked off just because of the incredible like classes and stuff that MVNU offers through WNZR.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to hit at too with my answer, was just take every opportunity, because WNZR, MVNU, they offer them just to help, like I shared earlier, diversify like your skill set and your profile for what you're able to do, your portfolio. These are all things that, you know, Joe has worked so hard in creating a curriculum that sets you up for success, so that as soon as you graduate, you are eligible for so many different jobs and so many different areas, and you're ready to go. And that's the same with, you know, you, Marcy, you help with so many skill sets with that, and also with Jamie, everybody that's involved with the communication program. And so it's something where just take those opportunities. Don't let them go by the wayside. Don't take them for granted. I know it can be a lot when you're a college student. You're like, I want to hang out with friends, and I want to go do this, and I want to go do this. And sometimes it can feel like you have to say no to some of those people and some of those things to say yes to something else. But I guarantee you will not regret saying yes to the opportunities that WNZR and MVNU can offer you.
That's good. If I could add one more thing, Marcy, don't let failure define you. I graduated with a 2.6 GPA. I failed at least 3 classes. Whatever bad grade you get, just don't let that define who you are. You are still loved by Jesus. You are still like a human being. You still have a chance to be able to make up whatever that is. Maybe you have to retake the class. I had to retake at least 3 classes, but like the world won't end. You will be okay. And you have some great mentors that'll be able to help you.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
We are wrapping up our conversation with 2 of our alumni, Nene Parker, class of 2020, Alyssa Sidle, class of 2021. How can we pray for you right now?
That's a good one. Addie, you want to go first?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, that's so nice. How can you be praying? Oh, man. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. One, pray that I don't overthink. I am someone that feels like the things that I do in life are just not good enough. Even now, I still feel like, oh man, is this piece of content worth posting? Did I ask the right question in this interview? Like, if you think that once you get to a full-time job, you're going to stop asking these questions, you probably won't. But what you can do is you can realize that when you put your trust in God and you spend time with him, that like you realize you can give all of that worry to him and you don't have to worry about it anymore, which is nice. So pray that I don't overthink about the decisions that I make in life. Help me to walk in the boldness and the confidence that that Jesus has given me. That would honestly be how you could pray for me going forward.
That's awesome. Okay, Alyssa.
Yeah, I think I kind of echo some of the same sentiments with Nene. I can be an overthinker as well. And so I also don't want to overthink the opportunities that God presents to us. You know, Marcy, you mentioned one of the greatest blessings of being able to work at WNZR and being able to work at Radio U is that we get to share the message of Jesus every single day and his love. And I don't want to take those opportunities for granted. So just prayers that we can be the person in the right time, in the right moment when those opportunities show up to obey God and his leading and his spirit, so that we are not afraid and we can share boldly the message of Jesus Christ and his love. So yeah, that's kind of my main thing, is I want to make sure that when I feel that prod, I'm not going to be like, oh, not right now, God, not right now. I don't have the time to talk to this person or to say something. I want to be ready to go.
Well, thank you very much to both of you for taking your time. How do we find you and find Radio U? You're not far from us. You're in Columbus, but how do we find you?
Well, Radio U's on social media. I think that's a main spot to find it.
Start looking. Start looking.
But you're online, and you do have a signal here in the Mount Vernon area. I just didn't know for sure what the numbers were.
Yeah, so if you're looking to listen in Mount Vernon, Ohio, you can find Radio U on 102.1 FM. And if you live outside of any of the areas, I know Columbus is 88.7 FM, but outside of those areas, you can always find us on socials. At Radio U Official on Instagram is easy. I know at Alyssa K. Sidle is where you can find Allie. At Nene Parker is where you can find me on Instagram. And then, I mean, yeah, those are honestly probably the easiest ways. We're posting every single day.
And is your website is it radiou.com?
Radiou.com. RADIOU.com, baby.
All right. Well, God bless you both for what you are doing. We are so proud of you, following God's leading, representing MVNU so well, and reaching this next generation for Christ. That is amazing. And so we will be praying for you. Hopefully see you both this weekend at homecoming.
You won't see me.
All right. We hope we will
there.
see you. You'll be signing your name on that big alumni bulletin board. But thank you so much, and God bless both of you.